That's enough, Vincent. They came with his motorcycle too.
We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Everybody's here?
Everybody's here, we here.
Everybody's here. Let the minutes reflect that all members are present. Next thing on the agenda is new and previous matters, which is communication from city clerk regarding polling sites and potential future sites. So I asked Steve if he can just tell us where we need them so we can zero in on that, because most of us know where the polling sites are currently.
Okay,
So I
Madam Chair.
will let Steve expand.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I get into it, I know we talked a little bit on Tuesday, and I put out the memo. Does anybody have any immediate questions before I get too far into it?
No, I don't.
Okay, so cutting to the chase, we have Longfellow here. I'll start in this quadrant. It services 3 and 5. After visiting Meadowmere, Mitchell Manor, which is right in this area here, let's see if I can zoom in there. They have a huge space, like right about here, a huge room that they're totally willing to let us use.
Oh, super.
That's great.
It's right off the street, so it's not too far, and it's handicap accessible. An independent entrance from the actual site, and it's pretty deep, so people and they got
And they
like a
have parking
wall.
and
You
everything.
can, you
so-
can go from
Yeah.
Lincoln Avenue or,
Yeah. The only
Okay.
issue with parking is they got a little parking lot right in the front, and then on the other side of the building there's a parking lot. However, these streets are pretty wide, and with the facility here, there's not a whole lot of residents parking on the street, so there's plenty of street parking
Yeah.
also.
Which
So,
building is that you're referring to?
The east or west part of the building.
He's facing
Is
Lincoln
the
Avenue.
housing?
Facing Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah, it's I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
on
not
the
more
senior,
in,
it's
you
kind of
know.
in their basement, but it's on street level,
I see.
so, no, I don't have Google Maps up, but. In any case,
It's all right.
so that would be a good relocation for Longfellow. I know
So,
Vince has talked to me about St. Rita's, which is right across the street from Longfellow. I did talk to them, the pastor just said no. The only space that they had available was downstairs in the basement, and it's not handicap accessible. So that was, but if you want to talk to them,
yeah.
it's fine. Although I did find this space, so it might work out.
There's room on 61st Street, actually. There's a cry room, which is handicap accessible, and go to the left. And there's, I think the room is probably a little smaller than this, but not much. So really, they can move some of the chairs or whatever they have to do. I don't think it would be a problem, really. But let me get in touch with them, and maybe tomorrow I'll stop over.
Do all the sites have to
I
be
give 'em some.
accessible?
Mhm, Should be.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, they should be, but I
Cap
mean,
accessible or some mechanism, like in the case of doors, if they're too heavy to open, you can put doorbells outside, and actually got a bunch from the state. They give them away for free, the wireless doorbells, so I just ordered a bunch,
Huh.
and signs. But when you get into ramps, that's a different matter. That has to be handicap accessible. And that's the issue with Liberty Heights.
Yeah, that's the biggest
Yeah.
problem there.
Liberty Heights services Ward 1. I couldn't find really any suitable locations up here. I did reach out to Victory Outreach Church up somewhere 60th and Madison area, Mineral.
No,
somewhere
I
like
think
that.
that's, Mineral, I think.
Yeah,
whatever it
but
is, yeah.
they only own the church and the school, and they're cleaning out the school to rent it out, to lease it out to a private school. The gym that's right there is owned by some, I forget the name of them, but Integrity Family Services, but I cannot for the life of me find contact information. Their website is not working, and their contact isn't working, and their phone number isn't working.
Madam Chair?
are we, are we steering away from schools Because there's Horace Mann right across the street from Liberty Heights.
Yeah, we're steering away from schools, elementary schools specifically.
Okay. All right,
For
Alderman May.
Liberty Heights, that ramp should be something we're correcting anyway. Right? Is that city property? It's
Well, it
something that
is, yeah.
should be corrected no matter what, not just for voting.
It's my understanding that that particular park building is set to basically be torn down
Yeah, it
and
is.
replaced
gonna replace it.
eventually.
It's real obsolete.
was
They
put
put it
in-
temporary?
It was
up there?
put in this 2020 CIP, but then it was taken out, so I think
Yeah.
it's being put off for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
As far as correcting it, it's pretty much a concrete ramp, so you'd have to rip out the entire ramp. The lower one is 5%, it needs to be at 8% or less. Lower one is 5%, the upper one is like 9.5%. So
Oh, okay,
you could rip it out and even them out, but
yeah. I wasn't thinking ripping them out, I was thinking of constructing something over the top of it, but if it's too high
that's one of
already,
the-
we can't go lower without ripping
Right.
something out.
And
So,
that's one of the state's suggestion to do temporary ramps, but this one is one that comes down, a landing, and then goes this way.
Gotcha.
So,
Epicos Church have anything?
I just was gonna
thought
mention
about
that.
Epicos, however, the street parking is really all that they
In a
have.
danger there.
And it's
really.
kind of in the downtown-y area,
Yeah, I
so
know it
it's. So, with that being said, I did reach out to the senior center, and, in the past, the prior health commissioner has been not too keen on it, but I did meet with Diane, and
That should be a good
Yeah,
spot for the
they-
one ward
Sharon?
anyway.
they agreed to use it, or let us use it.
It's
for
kind
Ward
of
two.
small, though.
Well,
No,
for
it's
Ward-
actually big.
Yeah, they got enough room
Well,
there.
it's just as
Well, it's
big,
a lot of
isn't it,
room
as
there.
the
It's a
police
big-
station?
It's bigger than,
Satellite?
bigger than the police station, yeah.
Yes, so it's probably 3 times the size of this room.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
The dining room where you go eat for free all the time,
Yeah.
once a year. Remember that I go too for free, you know?
Police satellite station is too small, so I was thinking about putting Ward 2 into the senior center.
Crazy.
That's good.
And then I was thinking about putting Ward 1 at City Hall for the time being.
What about St. Mary's Church over there
Where's that?
on 60, just off 60th
60.
Street?
61st.
Oh, let me
Yeah.
use the map
You're
here.
talking about
Yeah.
61st and
Yeah,
Lapham there?
yep.
I think it's Lapham, or is it Mitchell?
Mi- No, it's north,
Oh, what is that street there?
I don't,
Which one you talking about?
Washington or
Oh, that could-
Madison or
yes.
Washington.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not my district,
Yeah.
so I don't.
Yeah.
That's your district.
Is
Yeah,
the
which-
church
which
still
one?
That's St.
there?
Mary's.
Oh, it's the old St. Mary.
yeah, the
yeah.
old St.
Yeah,
Mary's
the old
Church.
St. Mary's Church.
Yeah. But somebody else
They had a
did.
big gym.
Yeah, they got a big,
Yeah.
but somebody else, I
Okay,
think.
so-
Yeah, I know, but maybe they'll work with us and let us,
Yeah, maybe
lease
some
it for a day
space.
or something.
60th and whereabouts?
Between,
One block off of
Washington?
Greenville.
Madison
One
and,
block off of
Washington.
Greenville.
Washington, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
between
go south.
Madison and Washington.
Go south?
Yeah, south.
Yeah, there's Walker,
Yeah, north of
next one should be
Greenfield, yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, down.
There's Walker.
Mineral and Washington are the same.
Yeah, that has a big
Yeah, Washington,
facility.
go to
Yeah.
Washington.
There, one more.
Do we pay to use the facilities?
Currently, we do not.
Okay.
We could if we have to, though.
Yes, I have not been asked. We're in 2 private sites right now, BMP and Heritage, and they do not charge us.
Yeah.
They could if they wanted to, but they don't. So I would kind of use that as a crux of schools,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
places don't charge.
Well, I just was wondering offhand.
All right, so 60th and
What's that first street off of? Is it,
Mineral,
I don't,
Washington?
is it
I think it's
Washington?
Washington. Down further, I think, one more down.
Down.
There it is.
Okay, so that's Victory Outreach now. That's who I
Yeah.
reached out to.
Victory
Oh, you did?
Outreach?
That's the one I reached out to.
Okay.
Apparently Ed Lisinski's grandpa built this facility, so,
Yeah, that's,
yeah. This is the gym I was talking about that's not owned by them. It's owned by some Integrity Family Services, and I cannot find a contact info.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Okay.
I did eye up that place, because that would have been perfect. with
Yeah.
the parking
Yes.
lot here.
All right, yep,
that is huge.
Yeah.
okay.
So even on the property, ownership, Doles, you can't find the,
Yep, I even talked to Ed, and he's supposed to have contact. He has a different phone number.
Jason?
That's who I
Nothing?
talked to, yeah.
Yeah?
No,
Oh, wow.
they had the same
Okay.
information that's on their website, and it's not active, so.
All right.
Another possibility could be the Summit Building lobby.
Oh, the parking is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other issue is there's all this development going on up there, it's
Right.
just gonna be a
I
nightmare.
suppose.
And then I also thought about the CVS
Lock to
building.
get to the voting place.
Yeah.
Well, for the time being, I think by the time we do the redistricting, I may be able to find something in this area, but for the time being, I was thinking about just putting Ward 1 in City Hall.
I guess it's just as close as,
Yeah.
I was thinking senior center, you have two boards in there,
Or I
but
could do that too.
I don't know which one is better up to the first district people.
Oh, I can put them all together, I mean,
Yeah, that's what I would do,
put them all together,
I
Steve.
could,
Yeah, let's, I
all in the
mean,
first district.
my ultimate goal was to get
That would be
three,
a better thing to do.
yeah, my ultimate goal was to get 3 wards in the City Hall. Or realistically, they'd be these
Yeah,
wards.
you can do that,
But I
yeah.
have library, I've got heritage, so I don't really need to
Oh.
move these two.
I gotcha.
So I was thinking about Ward 6, 7, and 11. So these 3 would go to City Hall.
11 too?
Mm-hmm.
You mean 1, 6, and 11?
1, 6, and 11, what'd I say?
You said 7, you added
Oh,
7 in there.
sorry.
Well-
1, 6, and 11.
Steve, what about the mental institution,
too many.
where
That's too
Roosevelt
many.
used to be?
And people who
Anybody,
vote
did you talk to
Ward
them?
11
Oh, yeah,
say
I
they
got
like to
40
11.
people.
Oh, yeah, okay,
We'll
let's,
follow it
yeah, I
right
agree
together.
with you.
All right, let me just. The space inside City Hall, using the council chambers, is plenty big for that amount of people, and I put together my list of these scenarios, and that would be.
He's saying that that's too much of a walkway.
So if I were to do that, that's about 2,400 voters, at least at the last 2 elections, that would be visiting the site. It's about 3 times the size of what goes on in here right now, because that's where the polling site is. There's a caveat to this. My ultimate goal is to cut this amount of voters in by a third, get them in earlier to vote.
Oh, yeah, that, we're all in,
Absentee.
all on page with that,
Yeah.
yeah. vote-
Save
pre-vote,
space.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't have to, but if I do that with Ward 11, I can get out of Ward Madison and at least shift that over to La Follette.
Why?
Ward 12.
I don't understand why you would do that.
Ward 11 goes to what, 84th?
Yeah.
No, I
97.
think it'd be pretty hard for people in
92nd?
the elderly.
84th on the east, and then it's about 96th there on the west.
That's pretty far.
96th, yeah.
Can't you vote, what's wrong with voting at La Follette for them?
Nothing, but to get out of Madison,
But then put Madison across that lane with Lane.
Lane is one of our bigger sites and it's not the biggest.
Well, can you put,
I mean, the biggest amount of voters.
can you put the Madison by La Follette? I mean, it's right on the border.
and- Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And then leave La Follette
But
there.
leave the Follette
Leave,
neighborhood
leave
there.
11 and whatever the one next to
12,
it is,
11 and
12?
12 at La Follette,
Sure.
could do that. Have you ever gone to La Follette Park?
You?
No.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been
we
there.
already
Park
downstairs
building is
or
up on a
upstairs?
hill. It's up on the hill, so
Yeah.
the upstairs part.
Oh, we do that soup thing?
Would it be
Yep.
down in the downstairs then?
Put a tent up in the park too.
You know?
Yeah.
We said get that giant pumpkin from Halloween and
Oh, boy.
So I could do 11 and 12 there. I could do 1 and 6 at City Hall. Do 2 is another big amount of people, mainly because of the apartments that have gone on.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Steve, on one, there is a lot of, I mean, there's quite a few elderly, so if we could be, I mean, why can't we, put them all and, you know, like I said, they got one Liberty Heights and Ward 3, I mean, why can't we put them all together?
1 and 2 at the senior center?
2 at Senior Center. I could even do 6, 7, and 8 at City Hall. Right now, I gotta find a new location for Ward 10 because of the rec center. That's
Yeah.
currently at rec center, so I could shift that
That's
over
where
to
you need the tent.
library. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could shift Ward 10 over to library,
There
and
you
I
go.
could do 14 over at Heritage. 9 is at McCarty. Another thing,
The only problem you're gonna have, Steve, is with it being at Heritage, you got a lot of elderly that don't leave Heritage.
it's already at Heritage.
I know, but you're saying if you move 7 and 8 into City Hall, you're gonna have a problem with the people at Heritage being able to leave to go to City Hall.
But he vote absentee.
Yeah, most of them do.
They
'Cause
vote
we
absentee.
send special voting deputies to Heritage.
Yeah, they go to nursing homes and,
There's a few that don't and then come down, but.
yeah.
So can we back up for a second? What's the issue with the schools? I know the elementary schools, they want to get them out, but, you know, Lane seems to have a secure area where you can be separate from the rest of the school.
I'm not looking to get out of Lane.
Well, Lane feels big when we go there to vote. You couldn't fit 12 and 13 into,
Currently Lane has had almost 1,300 voters there. It's one of our biggest.
never seen a
active-
line there.
Oh, I was there at the February,
Was it busy?
I mean, last November election, and it was all the way out the door.
Really?
All the way down that hallway.
When you form two lines.
Yeah, because the room
Because you
itself,
come in one door and they force you out another door.
the room itself is maybe half the size of this room, and then there's a long hallway. And that's about it.
Feels bigger than that one.
Yeah, it's really not that big. But, that being said, I'm keeping, as of right now, keeping 13 there anyway, so they're still gonna have the same impact. But I will tell you, this ward is very active voting wise.
It's been very good to me.
That's where I live. The biggest thing is this, across, or down the road from Irving, right around this area, here, that's the Mother of Perpetual Help, former Mary Queen of Heaven. They have that big gym right here. They're more than willing to let us use that gym.
Excellent.
Gosh, you could probably fit a
Right,
couple of
that is
boards
I
there.
can
That's
fit
what I was thinking
3
too.
wards in there. Now geographically, that makes kind of sense for 16, 15, and 21, because we're, 18, I've got Frank Lloyd Wright, which is another big school gym that I can fit 2 wards in there, and I was thinking about, right now it's 16 and 18, and I was thinking about putting 18 and 23 in there.
I thought 23 was in there now.
No,
No?
23 is at this Mitchell
Ah,
school.
Mitchell, okay.
So I think geographically it makes more sense there, right dead center of these 2
That's fine,
wards.
sure.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
for this one,
You can put 16,
16 and 21 for sure. I could put 15 down there if
I
I
don't
need
know.
to.
that's kind of hard because that's really out of the way.
What's that, for 16?
For 15,
For
you're
15,
you're
to
the
get
other side
down.
of the railroad tracks, you can
And
only
the
way
other
you
side
get
of the
there is
freeway.
92nd Street.
Yep.
So I wouldn't like that. I mean, that's not my district, but if I were you, I wouldn't like
I
it.
just know people in,
They're gonna complain.
people in 15 seem to like Wilson, and there's no facility at Reservoir Park. Really, the best place for that would have been the old Knights of Columbus building, but that's coming
Yeah,
down.
it's
Uh-huh.
gone.
I was eyeing that up
Yep.
until development got rid of that.
What about St. Aloysius Church?
Oh, that's the other thing.
Oh, yeah, the gym
I
maybe
just,
for
Good.
so the same
Saints.
people that own that Mother of Perpetual Help are dealing with St. Al's.
Yes.
So it's all part of the same congregation. I'm gonna talk to the lady who I'm dealing with at the other place. So if I can get St. Aloysius, I could theoretically put 14 and 15.
That would be
Mary-
nice.
That would be perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Mary Queen of Saints is moving to
Next year.
116th Street.
Next
They're
year.
not owned by the same group as the one on Lincoln, are they?
The one, St. Al's and this one on,
Mary what?
Mary Queen of Saints.
Mary Queen of Saints
school.
Catholic Academy, the school
That's
right next
inside
to
St.
St. Al's,
Aloysius.
is
yeah,
moving
the
over to
school, it's going there,
116th.
Yeah, yeah, and they're gonna sell that property, but
Okay.
for now it's
On their-
available.
on Google Maps, it's the same phone number for St. Al's as it is for this.
It is, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
But you raise an interesting point. You could move Ward 13 into Mary Queen of Saints and 12 over into Lane, if you don't want to stay in Madison. So 13, it's right off of 116th and Washington.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Will be the Mary Queen of Saints Catholic Academy, starting for the
So
next
that's-
school year. But
Yeah,
it-
so
the
Ward
church
13
might lend it out
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
Where is that?
116th and
Here.
Washington.
116th,
a little bit further west.
west.
one block
Here.
from
It's
Greenfield.
blue.
Oh, this one here?
Yep.
Yeah,
13 there, 12
we
to
have a
Lane.
large
Yeah,
facility.
big facility, big parking lot.
Yeah,
You could probably,
Lots of
Accessible,
parking.
handicapped
Yes.
accessible, so
yes.
16.
street parking.
it's a good place for it.
I'll write that down.
in general, I like polling places in public buildings, but it seems like the schools want us out, so it makes it.
Main thing to think about churches, some of them aren't exactly handicap accessible.
This one is.
This
Okay.
one is in
This
the
is
back.
definitely
back,
accessible.
yeah.
The other aspect is, I prefer places that are away from like the church part, because when you use churches, they are supposed to cover up any stuff that,
There's two separate buildings.
Yep.
yeah, okay,
Right.
good.
There's a back entrance that doesn't have
And it
any,
doesn't really look like a church either.
yeah, doesn't look like a church.
No, it looks like an old school, which
Yep.
is.
Right.
That
Good,
was-
I will reach out to them. So that is,
Sorry, I didn't mean
the
No,
biggest,
that's,
You raised a good point. Just
those are the biggest issues. Rec center, I have to find relocations, and Mason has asked me to get out of the fire station. So, kind of like,
So the rec
Why-
center, you're gonna
why-
go where?
Why is that?
it's an impact on his operations.
What, I mean, just one day?
He'll suffer if we stay there, but he's asked that one.
one day.
He
Come on.
can suffer.
I mean, come on, I mean,
Let him
really.
suffer.
It's 4 days.
Well,
You're right, I agree, I agree.
When the rec center is up
Parking
and,
vehicles somewhere else.
when the rec center is up and functional, we're getting a bigger space and they're doubling their parking lot, so I can actually put 4 in here with 10 and 20 after they're done. So that's next fall,
Ward 20, that's at the rec center.
correct.
Right,
What are you gonna do, move it to McCarty?
Ward 20,
That's where it used to be. I don't like it
well,
there,
actually,
but that's where we always voted for years until they changed it. And I really like voting at the rec center, but I think temporarily until they get it completed, where else were you gonna go?
I toured the Beloit Senior Housing Clubhouse.
Perfect, if you can get it in there.
Yeah, Luke has no problem getting me in there, but
Really? Oh,
It's
perfect.
really
That's
weird.
even better.
It's a weird layout. I don't prefer to stay there, but for a temporary location.
For temporary, for a year or two, yeah.
okay.
I was
Perfect.
gonna ask, how long are you looking for this stuff to last? I mean, so if Mary Queen, the existing Mary Queen of Saints location on
Oh,
92nd
McCarty's kind of a walk.
sold in
Okay.
summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a long
Right.
way.
Where,
I'm trying to find sustainable places for many, many years. The other thing is we're doing redistricting, so I'm more concerned with just getting sites now, and then we're ultimately gonna change where voters go after the districting
is
anyway.
Rainbow Park a possible site?
I asked, this county said no.
Yeah, that's
Madam
plenty of
Chair.
room in the building too.
You know, to me, it really puzzles my brains, it really does. I mean, all those years that we've done the
McCarty.
polling place, you know, in a fire station, all of a sudden it's the biggest problem. I mean, to me, that's totally unfair, really. I mean, for the chief, really, as much as I like him, you know,
You just
to me,
disagree with them on it.
I mean, I don't agree with this,
understand
really. I mean, what in the world, that's one or 2 days, I mean, what really is the inconvenience, really?
A lot of voters there.
To be perfectly honest, it wasn't like a huge deal. He just said they're in the bay, they have to move everything out.
Big deal,
If I can
really,
find a new
big
location,
deal, really,
Let us put it this way,
big
they
deal.
move everything out for their pancake breakfast.
Yeah. So Steve, I don't know what,
Point taken.
Whatever you guys wanna do, I'm fine with
what the
working it.
committee really decided, really. I think we should you should approach them and say, well, that's what the council is leading, the committee is leading for, we should have it at the fire station, because it creates some problem, really, with for yourself and everybody else, really.
Leave it at the fire station.
Realistically, I would put
You wanna move
4
out?
and 20 in the rec center.
You wanna move out from the fire station?
No, he said leave it there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, just
Yeah,
leave it
right.
right there.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
if I can move it into the rec center, these 3, would that be feasible?
How much does it cost, very seriously, what does it cost to rent a couple of tents and set them up in the park? I don't mean little tents, I mean like the party tents that are all enclosed.
I'll have to contact Georgia, because I was at a election security training a couple weeks ago, and the
Oh,
Georgia
election
clerk was there.
security.
They've had to do that because of hurricanes. So,
On a permanent basis,
gonna last
later
for one
on, when the
election.
rec center gets built, you're talking about having 4, 10, and 20 in there?
correct,
Be great.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Plenty of parking, wide open, it's beautiful.
Lots of room.
Yep.
I mean, in fairness, you got the mental hospital there where Roosevelt used to be. I mean,
Yeah, I sent them an email, I
maybe we
haven't
can-
heard back.
yeah, you know, approach them that way because it makes it a lot easy. you know, for the northeast corner there, really, for many. And there's a lot of elderly too, you know, I mean, that's,
Yeah, you don't want people to have to drive too far.
my God, I mean, we gotta cross National Avenue, you know, and,
That's the other thing.
You wanna make it convenient.
Yeah, and especially the east side, I've been trying to find some areas, but I can't, it's difficult. So, that
How
is,
about, like you say, put a tent up by Kegel's, between Kegel's and,
That'll work too. Get plenty of people.
blocked off anyway.
yeah,
And they're not working, they're not selling anything outside at the
yeah, right now it's open. Yes.
I mean, you like to create as little
Exactly.
confusion for people, so they're not voting one place in the
That'd be-
primary,
that'd be
another in the
upsetting. A lot of
spring, and
people-
another one in the fall.
I mean, it's gonna be confusing enough for people because of,
Right.
you know,
You
and then
can't
they're gonna have
actually
to change
change it.
again after census.
That's a big
Right.
changes,
What was
really,
it?
I
you
mean,
can't
that's what,
actually change it between primary and general.
No.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, but
No,
still
but-
between the spring and the fall, though, you could, and change it once and change it again. I think it's gonna
It's-
confuse
yeah,
people.
like you say.
Unfortunately, 10 and 20 will be that way, but
Yeah.
that's only
It's temporary.
It's temporary.
yeah.
And, you know, well, you're gonna, when you send out the letter to those people, you might put a note on their construction at the rec center has forced us to temporarily change the voting
Yeah.
location.
Otherwise, they might
Yeah.
be
Then they
very
know.
critical.
Yeah.
I mean, are you just gonna put together a summary of what you found here? Like, for this ward, here's a potential, here's,
Yeah.
here's your recommendation to us. and
If I can
we'll-
do some, if I can get a resolution put together for next meeting or the December 3rd meeting.
Sure.
So you're still gonna
Sounds
leave
good.
7 and 8 where they are then?
For the time being, like I said, realistically, these three would be at City Hall because it just makes geographic sense, but I've got these two. I've got plenty of places here.
So just for District 3, the only place I've ever heard a complaint about is that when you're in Ward 14, you have to go across the street and vote at Franklin. People hate that, and it's not just the distance, but there's no parking,
I get the same.
having to cross
That's a
National.
busy
and-
street. Yeah, I know.
I get the same complaint from these people here,
I thought,
where they can go right here to vote, but they have to go all the way down here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why, same thing with Ward 1, you know, it's pretty hard for a lot of people, you know, to go national.
You want
it's still
Steve?
gonna, so 14 is still gonna vote at Franklin?
yeah, what are you doing with 15 and 14?
If I can get St. Al's,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, for both of them. Yeah, good.
Right.
That'll get rid of Franklin then.
Does the committee want Steve to just go over briefly where the locations are then, would be? If he gets permission?
Well, let's let them get permission and then come back to us with.
Okay,
I'm knocking down from 20 to 14. So I got Senior Center, City Hall, Meadowmere, Rec Center, Heritage, Library, McCarty and La Follette, Lane, Central. Oh, the other thing, I could put another ward in the Central High School.
Yeah, there used to be 2 there before.
Yeah, so I could certainly move 14 down to, or I could move 9. And,
So much further away.
I know it is.
Again, most of Ward 14's on the north side of that railroad
yeah.
track, too.
Well, if I can get St. Al's, it won't
That
be a
would be
problem.
ideal.
But you know as well as I do, we need to get out of Franklin Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
So,
There's no,
It's tight and
Central is bad.
it's cold and
yeah.
it's.
I also did reach out to the hospital, see if they had anything on their campus, and they initially said no, but Robert Figueroa is trying to help out.
Well,
So, that's another possibility. The other aspect is I'm also looking for alternate emergency sites too. So whatever we don't choose,
yeah.
I do have the ability to use them as emergency sites
Okay.
as well.
Cool.
okay.
Good.
Put together,
Mother Perpetual Health Gym, Frank Lloyd Wright, Village at Manor Park, and then Nathan Hale.
Okay.
so put together ordinance, is it? And-
Resolution.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate everyone's input.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you, John.
Meeting will come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman May.
Here.
Frankie.
Here.
Rote. Here. Stefanski.
Here.
Vitale.
Here,
Weigel.
Here.
Barzak.
Here.
Shaplesky.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
And Lysick.
Here.
That's 10 present.
First order of business is pledge of allegiance, led by Alderman May. Item D, new business. Alderman Shaplesky.
I'd like to make a motion to, well, the only thing on the agenda, to approve the second-hand license for 1411 South 72nd.
Second.
oh, I got everybody
I second
voting
it
for
too.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, never heard anything
All
like that.
together.
And moved and seconded by multiple
Everyone.
older people.
Everyone, yeah.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is there any other business to come before the council?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
I move that we adjourn until Tuesday, November 12th at 7 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Hey.
Man,
That was fastest.